The first record that I produced is called Are You the Bomb? And here in Baltimore, it is a classic. Up and down the East Coast, we got a lot of play. And I want to talk a little bit about how that record came about and how, if I had overreacted in a situation, that maybe the record would have never been made. So there's an artist who's on the record. His name is Fo. Fo was out promoting a record that he had at the time, which was called Stretch Marks. I like the record. I don't know if they would make a record like Stretch Marks now, but at the time he had the record called Stretch Marks, and it was kind of, it's about what you think. It's about stretch marks on the lady. And I wanted to remix the record. So I had done production, breakbeat records and things like that, but I had not actually produced a record with an artist on it. And I wanted to do that. I felt like I was ready. So for several years I was doing breakbeat records. I approached him about remixing this song, Stretch Marks. And he told me, no, this was in a nightclub. So he said, no, you can't remix it. And I thought it was kind of rude, actually. But I didn't take offense to it. I said, well, we would talk about it later. It wasn't my first time meeting the artist. I did not know him well. He'd come to my store and he was promoting the record. And I saw him in the club. And I thought, when I listened to the record, I said, you should let me remix this. And so I approached him in the club when I saw him. He said no. And some people would have taken that the wrong way. Some people would have been like, screw him. You want to say that to me, But I didn't do that. Whatever. I just was like, okay, that was his answer. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? And he said, maybe we could do some work together at some point in time. So a little while later, he reaches out to me again, and he said that the reason why he did not let me do the remix was because he did not own the record. The record was owned by a label that released it, which was called CLR, right? So Steve and Janice is the person who owned the record. And so he said, let's do something new. Let's do something different, right? So if I had taken the initial reaction of no and got my feelings about it, that maybe the record doesn't come about. So he says, let's do something new. Let's come up with something on our own. And what we came up with was the record that is called Are You the Bomb? And so it's just important to not take things out of context. You don't know why somebody's saying something. Maybe you don't have the whole story. In that instance, I didn't have the whole story. He didn't own the record. He wanted to do something over. That was something that he owned, and I appreciate that much better. So we went on.